Hey, what's up YouTube? You're watching Ready Set Drone, and today I have the brand new Nanohawk X from EMAX. It is a little analog FPV 1S racer that I'm gonna check out, so stay tuned. This is the new Nanohawk X from EMAX. It is a 1S analog FPV quadcopter. Now, I've actually already gotten it out and done a little bit of flying with it. It is very, very sleek looking and very much looks like a tiny version of a racing quad. It's got two blade props that are fairly long, actually pretty good for the size of this thing. It's got a carbon fiber frame. It's got these little tiny motors. The motors are TH12025 and they are 11,000 kV motors. So they are pretty small little motors. But the coolest thing is it runs on a 1S battery, and if you're anything like me, you have a ton of these little batteries laying around because EMAX products are sort of a staple in a lot of FPV flyers collections already. From the Tiny-Hawk, the Tiny-Hawk 2, the Tiny-Hawk Race, the Freestyle, they all use the same battery, except that this battery now has a different connector on the end. However, EMAX was kind enough to include a little adapter so that if you have a lot of the old style connectors, which is this type connector right here, you can actually fly the Nanohawk X using any of your old 1S batteries. I have some puffy ones that have been sitting around and not used for a while that are still flying this thing great. I don't recommend that, but it just means you've got more versatility with flying. Now this thing is analog, like I said before. It has a transmitter that will allow you to go between 25 milliwatts, 100 milliwatts, and 200 milliwatts. I've currently got this one set for 200 milliwatts, which is the maximum. I'm flying by myself, and so I want as much range and penetration as possible. And like I said, there is an adapter cable that you can put on it that allows you to fly it with the old school connector, and that's what I've got on it right now. But if you take that adapter cable off, it goes natively into the new battery connector style, and there's two little rubber bands down here on the bottom that you use to connect the battery up. So you just slide it under these two rubber bands like so, and then I find if you just kind of shimmy it a little bit, you can get it right into spot and get kind of a nice center of gravity with it. And then it's really easy to plug in. I'm generally not a big fan of undermounted batteries because they kind of mess you up when you land and such. But this one, these are such small flat batteries, and this cable is pretty long and malleable that it hasn't really been a problem for me at all. It does have these little hooks here on the end. You can see right there on the frame, and I'm pretty sure what that's for is for the rubber band. So basically, if you were to break this one or have any problems with the rubber band that's on there, it's very easy to pull the rubber band off and replace it. It just goes over these two little hooks on the end. But the most important thing is, so far it's a blast to fly. I've flown it just a little bit here in my backyard, and I even put an Insta360 GO on top of it. I just used a zip tie and put it right up here on top, and it worked just fine. I haven't looked at that footage yet, but I'm gonna check it out now. And here is the Nanohawk, and we're going to see how much it weighs. And that is resetting, and it is in ounces, so let's switch it to grams, and boom, 44 grams without the battery. That is very lightweight. 44, 43, it's kind of bouncing around. And then you add the battery to the mix, and it's 55 grams, 56 grams. So it definitely fits under the 250 gram qualification. No need to put your ID on that guy. Maybe your name in case you lose it though. All right, so I've got the new battery on and ready to go. I've got the clock set at 0. I don't know if you can see it, but timer set at 0. And I'm gonna fly it around the backyard. Pretty mellow, just kind of see how it goes, using just the built-in camera, no Insta360 on it. I'm gonna see if I can get a DVR going. Oh, looks like I can. Okay, so I got 4.32 on the battery voltage, and here we go. Yeah, it's actually a bit zippier without the Insta360 GO on it. Alright, about 5.5 minutes with several crashes in there. I should have just gone really conservative and not crashed it as often as I did. That would have been better than crashing as much as I did, but 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes. Okay, I'm going to do a quick just test to see how much flight time I get off of one full battery. This battery was charged last night, so it should be as charged as it can be. And I'll just zip it around a little bit and see how long it goes until I get a low battery warning. So I have my phone set up right here with a timer on it. Start the clock, arm the quad, and take off. Flying pretty chill, just kind of cruising around into this pavilion and through the trees. Definitely notice, you know, the ghost branches that they talk about with digital. Like, you don't see them quite as well in analog. Okay, I'm getting a low battery warning, but in fairness, I think that this battery might not have been the best one. 122. What's the flight time there? Just going to mention that I am flying pretty much all my analog stuff with the FRSKY X Lite. I love this little guy. It is very compact, easy to take with you, and works great for something like this where you just want convenience and portability. And honestly, the sticks are high quality, the screen is good. I like this thing a lot. So if you're interested in an analog controller, check out the FRSKY X Lite. So having flown mostly digital for the last really year and a half, I didn't think I would have this much fun flying an analog quad, but this thing is a hoot. It's just very quiet, agile, quick, can fly in tight spaces, a little bit challenging, very fast. You can get up and go with it, and the reception when you turn the transmitter up to 200 milliwatts is not too bad at all, especially again with Doc Murdoch's custom antennas here that seem to give me superpowers in analog. It's available on EMAXusa.com. I'll put a link in the description, and if you want to check it out, you can go there and see what the price is and all that good stuff. I'd love to hear your comments about analog versus digital, about tiny whoops, about this little tiny racer here and what you think about it. It is a 1S, and for a 1S, it really gets up and goes. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Ready Set Drone. Thanks for watching.